I'm Peter Mendham. I've been on the board now for 10 years, nearly 10 years. I sit on the Policy and Strategy Committee, the Audit Committee, Appointments and Remuneration Committees, helping with the finances and the business side of the TBA. My background is in tax, in VAT, working with the industry for many years. And on a more practical bloodstock related level, I've been a breeder, an owner, a pin hooker with various degrees of success over the years. So I have some practical day-to-day knowledge of the industry, but nothing like the levels that most of my fellow board members have. But it's been a really enjoyable time on the board.
Why is the sales levy important to TBA funding?
Well, it forms such a large part of our annual income. Last year, it was well over 50%. And without the sales levy, we would just find it very difficult to function and do all the things that we want to do. So at the moment, it's absolutely imperative that we get a good return from the sales levy. Without it, we'd really struggle.
What other ways can people and the industry support the TBA?
Well, if we talk financially, the sales levy is a voluntary levy, which causes us problems, obviously, because we can't budget for how much we get. We're so dependent upon whether or not people decide to pay the levy, or the level of the markets. And obviously, we were concerned this year as to how the sales figures would look, because that has a direct impact upon our income. So that's not hugely satisfactory in terms to run an organisation year on year. We are a charity, so we could look to generate income from donations, legacies, etc. But that's a very crowded marketplace. So I think realistically, the two options we have available to us would be the sales levy or the full levy. But the sales levy is a mechanism that seems to work. So I think the way that people can support us financially is to contribute to the sales levy, to make sure that they do pay. At the moment, we get a considerable income, and we're very grateful for that. But the figures tell us that still is a large proportion, probably is possibly up to a half, between a third and a half of UK breeders are not actually paying the sales levy. And that, if we could build on that and encourage more of those people to pay, that would make a huge difference to our finances.
What changes have you seen in the last few years with regards to TBA funding levels?
I think there have been a number of changes. The sales levy, if I go back to the 10 years ago when I joined the board, sales levy has gone up, but that's, as I've just indicated, that's a reflection of not necessarily in terms of more people paying it, but it's more that the sales figures have gone up and therefore our income increases. At the same time, our membership income has gone down. We've kept membership subscription levels quite flat over that period. And we've lost members because the older breeders are going out of the business, and it's more difficult for new entrants to come in. So the membership figures have gone down, and therefore our subscription income has gone down. So the proportion of our income that comes from members is actually reduced markedly in that period. But on the positive side, we've managed to obtain a much higher level of support from people like the Levy Board, the Racing Foundation, because of the plans that we've put to them and the propositions we've put forward for funding, and they've been increasingly successful over that 10-year period. So that's a very positive sign.